Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our headlines for tonight. Turkey hits back in Iraq and at home after Ankara bombing. On national news, Anwar announces 400 million ringgit in subsidies for government premises to use imported rice. And in Sarawak, Abang Johari said the state government will fund the setup of STEM laboratories in all districts. With me, Yusuf Shukri, this is TVS Nightline. And Turkey said it unleashed airstrikes on militant targets in northern Iraq and detained suspects in Istanbul overnight, hours after Kurdish militants said they orchestrated the first bomb attack in the capital Ankara in years. On Sunday morning, two attackers detonated a bomb near government buildings in Ankara, killing them both and wounding two police officers. The outlawed Kurdistan Workers' Party (PKK) militant group claimed the responsibility.
In airstrikes that destroyed 20 targets, caves, shelters and depots used by the PKK in Iraq's Metna, Harkok, Kandil and Gara regions. Turkey has stepped up military action against the PKK in northern Iraq over the last few years in operations it says are conducted under self-defense rights arising from Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. Iraqi President Abdul Latif Rashid said in comments aired on Monday that Iraq rejected repeated Turkish airstrikes or the presence of Turkish bases in its Kurdistan region and hoped to come to an agreement with Ankara to solve the problem. The PKK is designated a terrorist organization by Turkey, the United States and European Union. It launched an insurgency in southeast Turkey in 1984 and more than 40,000 people have been killed in the conflict. On Sunday, CCTV footage showed a vehicle pulling up outside the Interior Ministry's main gate in Ankara and one of its occupants quickly walking toward the building before being engulfed in an explosion. The Interior Minister said the bomb killed one attacker and security forces killed the other. The blast rattled a district that is home to ministries and the parliament, an attack coinciding with the reopening of the assembly.
Over on national news, the federal government has decided to channel subsidies amounting to almost 400 million ringgit for government premises, such as military camps, police and school dormitories, to use imported rice as a measure to increase local white rice supply in the market. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the move could increase the local rice supply by about 5%, which was the amount used by the government premises. While speaking at the Segalanya Felda Carnival at Dataran Niaga Felda Cimomoy today, Anwar said the government acknowledged the shortage of rice and the increase in the price of imported rice. He added this was due to the decision of 18 countries to prevent or limit the export of rice. And to overcome the problem of rice shortage, the Federal Agriculture Marketing Board, FAMA, was also reminded to actively send rice to areas affected by supply shortage. As Sarawak moves towards green economy, mastery and command in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM subjects are becoming increasingly important. To support this move, Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng said the Sarawak government will fund the setup of STEM laboratories in all districts statewide.
Kita bangunkan makmal kita sendiri, kongsi oleh semua sekolah. Kita ada tu, kita ada 30 daerah kita. Daerah 45 nak. Daerah 45 masalah saya SS bermakna 45 makmal. Dan akan dibiayai oleh negeri Sarawak sendiri.
Additionally, Abang Johari said that the establishment of the laboratories was to expose and attract the interest of Bumiputra students in STEM fields to apply what they learn into practice.
Habisan lemah STEM ialah masyarakat Bumiputra. Dari statistik Bumiputra sedapat berada pada khusus STEM, Science, Mathematics, Engineering, English. Kena kemudahan ada visi.
Previously, the Premier announced that the Sarawak government will establish a shared laboratory in Marudi for students studying STEM subjects.
At the same time, Abang Johari urged schools constructed by the federal government in Sarawak must align with the state's standards. He specifically pointed to the design of SK Meludam as a model that the federal government should consider when equipping schools in the state with necessary facilities.
Jadi saya minta kerajaan pusat standardnya sekurang-kurang standard itu. Tempat gurunya, quartersnya, tempat makannya, tempat anak kita belajar. 34 juta.
Speaking at the official opening of the new SK Meludam building in Betong on Monday, Abang Johari added that the facilities provided should benefit both students and teachers. He also forwarded the matter to the Minister of Education Fadlina Sidek during a briefing to the federal minister several days ago. Commenting further, Abang Johari added that the issue of dilapidated schools were among the reasons to request Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim to return the autonomy to Sarawak for development projects.
Sebabnya saya madah Perdana Menteri kalau boleh beri otonomi kepada Sarawak. Kita melaksanakan projek dan juga pembangunan pendidikan kita. Karena kita tahu Pak, Sidon sekali, Grato sekali, sekali A, sekali B, ke C, ke D, mana bertukar-tukar. Kita yang bingung juga. Jadi kita akan dasar kita konsisten dan kita beri infrastruktur yang baik.
The SK Meludam building is scheduled to be utilized on the 2023-2024 school session. The school is equipped with 18 classrooms and 2 dormitory blocks, which can accommodate up to 200 students.
Now, the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, MEITD, and the Institute of Teachers Education Tun Razak campus plan to launch a training program for approximately 1,700 teachers across Sarawak, focusing on subjects related to science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM, as well as English. Its Minister, Datuk Roland Sagahui In, noted that the primary goal of this training is to equip teachers with STEM and English knowledge.
Harapan Kementerian dan Kerajaan Sarawak hanya agar program-program ini dapat memberi impak tambahan kepada warga pendidik kita dan melihat pendidikan dari segi kepimpinan, pengurusan organisasi, pengurusan kurikulum dan hal ehwal murid, pembelajaran dan pemudahcaraan dan kejadian.
This, he said, is also in line with Sarawak's vision of producing highly capable and skilled human capital. At the same time, he stressed the importance of mastering STEM and English subjects among students in order for them to fully grasp terms that are used in modern technology and knowledge.
Increased funding is essential for the development of Sarawak's healthcare infrastructure, ultimately leading to an improved quality of life for its residents. Sarawak's Deputy Premier, Datuk Seri Dr. Sim Koo Hian, emphasised the need for a more substantial allocation from the upcoming budget, set to be tabled on October 13th. Sim, who is also the Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, highlighted that a larger fund would significantly facilitate the upgrading of various infrastructures, including schools and hospitals.
We need to slowly increasing, and in the white paper we are hoping that for at least a 5%, so that so that we can really prepare for us getting aging. For Sarawak, I think we're looking forward to more school being truly not just keep on announcing the budget, but to actually implement it. You know, the dilapidated school. We also Sarawak the needs for a lot of dilapidated clinics and hospitals.
On to our next update, Sarawak is aiming to increase its annual export value of 1 billion ringgit from the shrimp industry by 2030. To achieve this, Minister of Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development M.F. Court, Datuk Seri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, said approximately 7,000 hectares of land is needed. So far, the government has acquired nearly 300 hectares of land.
Rundi also stressed on the importance of biosecurity procedures to ensure increased production and supply of shrimps.
We must learn not only the size, we must learn how to increase their production, productivity, quality, quantity, and so on, so that we can have a good supply chain, everything. Shrimp industry is something that is quite a high risk. You need to have a very good biosecurity, and I understand you want to have also agro-tourism here and do it accordingly. The procedure must be there.
The shrimp industry will be focused in several areas in Sarawak, including Kuching, Tanjung Manis, Limbang, and Lawas. He said this after officiating the release of 3 million shrimplets in Rambungan Aqua Life Center in Berhad in Lobasto, Rambungan on Monday.
During the same event, about 3 million Vietnamese shrimplets were released into Malaysia's largest shrimp pond in Lobasto Aquaculture Park, Rambungan, earlier today. By 2024, the pond would be able to produce approximately 100 tons of shrimp, stated Deputy Minister of Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development, M.F. Court, Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman Ismail. And currently, the pond measures 12 hectares and will be expanded in the coming years.
Kalau ikut SIM, yang terbesar di Malaysia, the biggest in Malaysia, man-made pond for shrimp. 298 hectares of land, potential area for earth pond. We are using earth pond, not concrete pond. Potential area to be developed 130 hectares, and to be developed all 130 hectares by the end of 2026.
The anticipated 100 tons of shrimp hold a value of 1.8 million ringgit. He further stated that this figure is expected to rise with a projection of 260 tons of production valued at 4.7 million ringgit for 2025, followed by 420 tons valued at 8.3 million ringgit in 2026, and a subsequent 800 tons of shrimps valued at 14 million ringgit by 2027. Alongside the pond expansion, Rahman also announced plans for a children's playground and a 2-hectare pond dedicated to sport fishing within the aquaculture park. Furthermore, he made a request for the Sarawak government to support the upgrade of the road section connecting the main road near the Rambungan ferry terminal to the Lobasto Aquaculture Park.
Coming up right after the break, 4 new government steps to alleviate rice issue, and over in world news, more than 100 Armenians have fled the Nagorno-Karabakh region. Don't go anywhere.
Experience.
Thank you for staying with us. 4 additional intervention measures will be implemented to overcome the rice supply issue in the country. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Sabu said the decision was reached following a meeting with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. The measures include directing the Federal Agricultural Marketing Authority (FAMA) to increase the distribution of local white rice in rural areas and a subsidy of 950 ringgit per tonne for imported white rice (BPI) for Sabah and Sarawak beginning October 5th to enable it to be sold at a retail price of 31 ringgit per 10 kilograms.
Oleh kerana margin jualan baras putih tempatan hanya 50 sen bagi kampit 10 gram, maka kerajaan akan menyalurkan kos angkutan kepada pihak FAMA.
The government has introduced a subsidy due to limited local white rice production in Sabah and Sarawak. Suppliers will obtain imported white rice at a wholesale price of 3,200 ringgit per 50 kilogram bag, subject to specified conditions. Additionally, the ministry has launched a special integrated task force on white rice operations enforcement, or OPBPT, led by Deputy Agriculture and Food Security Minister Chang Fun Hin to conduct comprehensive inspections of the rice industry chain. Any parties found altering rice bags, mixing local and imported white rice, or hoarding local rice will face strict action. The public is advised to avoid panic buying and purchase rice based on their needs and capabilities, with assurance that there is no rice shortage in Malaysia, but the price of imported rice has risen rapidly. In regards to the government-to-government meeting with India's Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Ministry, a response to Malaysia's requests is expected from India this week.
Now, the government is committed to ensuring that electric vehicle (EV) ownership is accessible to individuals across all income groups by implementing targeted subsidies and financial assistance programs. This initiative aims to foster inclusivity and strengthen a comprehensive EV ecosystem within the country. And likewise, the Investment, Trade and Industry Minister, Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz, announced that the government is intensifying efforts to expand and improve the nation's EV charging infrastructure.
He highlighted that the implementation of various policies and initiatives has yielded a positive impact on the local automotive industry. The number of registered electric vehicles surged to over 3,400 units in 2022 and exceeded 7,500 units by September 2023, a significant increase compared to an average of 300 units in previous years. Furthermore, Tengku Zafrul emphasized that the EV policy should align with the recently launched New Energy Transition Roadmap 2030, or NETR 2030, which aims to expedite investments in grid infrastructure and offers incentives for the development of renewable energy sources.
Research company BMI has maintained its 2023 forecast for Malaysia's federal government budget deficit at 4.9% of gross domestic product GDP from 5.6% in 2022. In a report published on Monday, the company said that the forecast is slightly above the government's projection, which forecasts a deficit of 5.0%.
The Fitch Solutions unit said the government is on track to achieve its targets as its revenue and expenditure trajectory until the first half of the year have trended closely to the projections stipulated at the start of the year, adding that it expects Malaysia's federal government's budget's deficit to narrow to 4.3% of GDP in 2024. BMI predicts a slight slowdown in revenue growth to 15.3% of GDP in 2023, down from 16.5% in 2022 due to reduced income tax for specific income brackets. During the first half of the year, revenue collections amounted to 148.4 billion ringgit, marking a 16.8 YOY increase, primarily attributed to higher tax revenue. Furthermore, total tax revenue from direct and indirect taxes increased by 17.4% YOY in the first half of 2023 to 54.7 billion ringgit. BMI also anticipates government debt to reach 60.8% of GDP in 2023, with expectations of further increases in the coming years due to ongoing budget deficits. The government aims to reduce fiscal deficit levels over medium term, as outlined in the Medium-Term Fiscal Framework 2023 till 2025. The plan is to gradually reduce the fiscal deficit to 3.2% by the end of 2025, resulting in an average of 4.1% of GDP for the years 2023 to 2025.
Now, the Malaysian Palm Oil Association MPOA has called on the government to reduce the windfall profit levy WPL rate for Sabah and Sarawak from 3% to 1.5% in the budget 2024 as the costs of production have gone up. The association believes this change will help palm oil businesses cope with these increased expenses.
The association requested for an increase in the threshold by 500 ringgit per ton of crude palm oil, as the proposed in raising it to 3,500 ringgit per ton for Peninsular Malaysia growers and 4,000 ringgit per ton for Sabah and Sarawak growers. At the same time, tax incentives in support of large-scale initiatives recognize the critical role in safeguarding the sector's future productivity. Its Chief Executive Officer, Joseph Tek Chun Yi, said that while growers carry out replanting programs annually, larger replanting hectareage must be immediately pursued. He stated that by 2027, the aged palm area will grow to 770,000 hectares if the replanting rate continues at less at 2% of the total planted area a year.
Onto our world news, an ethnic Armenian exodus has nearly emptied Nagorno-Karabakh of residents since Azerbaijan attacked and ordered the breakaway region's fighter groups to disarm. The Armenian government has said that more than 100,000 people have arrived in Armenia from Nagorno-Karabakh, which had a population of approximately 120,000 before Azerbaijan reclaimed the region in a lightning offensive last week.
A total of 21,043 vehicles have crossed the Hakkari Bridge, which links Armenia to Nagorno-Karabakh since last week. Some lined up for days because the winding mountain road that is the only route to Armenia became jammed. The departure of more than 80% of Nagorno-Karabakh's population raises questions about Azerbaijan's plans for the enclave that was internationally recognized as part of its territory. The region's separatist ethnic Armenian government said on Thursday it would dissolve itself by the end of the year after a 3-decade bid for independence. Armenia has alleged the ethnic Armenian exodus amounted to a direct act of ethnic cleansing and depriving people of their motherland. Azerbaijan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs strongly rejected the characterization, saying the mass migration by the region's residents was their personal and individual decision and has nothing to do with forced relocation.
A grizzly bear attacked and killed 2 people and their dog in Alberta's Banff National Park. Parks Canada said in a statement on Saturday night it had received an alert late Friday from a GPS device indicating a bear attack in the Red Deer River Valley west of Yahatinda Ranch in Banff National Park. The bear was later euthanized after it displayed aggressive behavior.
Parks Canada said its rescue team had to travel by ground through the night to the location as the weather conditions at the time did not allow for helicopter use. The response team arrived on site during the early hours of Saturday, where they discovered 2 deceased individuals. According to a friend of the victim's family, Kim Titchener, the victims were a Canadian couple and their dog. Titchener, who also provides training on bear safety and bear assessment, said such encounters are increasing as more people head outdoors, but fatal attacks are extremely rare. She elaborated that attacks are increasing due to more people heading outdoors and not being educated on the matter. Bear sightings increase during autumn as they become more active searching for food ahead of hibernation in the cold winter months. Banff National Park, which attracts more than 4 million tourists every year, is home to both grizzly and black bears.
Wrapping up the Nightline, Tokyo-based startup Tsubame Industries has spent the past 2 years developing a 4.5-meter-tall four-wheeled robot with a passing resemblance to a Mobile Suit Gundam, to which owning one will soon become a reality for just $3 million.
Tsubame CEO Ryo Yoshida said that he wanted to create something that combined elements from Japan's strength in animation, robotics, and automobiles.
なぜ、作りたいかと思った一番最初のきっかけはですね、最初はなんか新しい乗り物を作りたかったなと考えておりました。で、その上でですね、日本ってアニメ産業とか、ゲーム産業、あとはロボット産業ですね、あと自動車産業すごい得意かなと思っていて、それらの要素をこうギュッと圧縮したような、This is Japan みたいなプロダクトが作れればいいなというのが一番最初です。
Named ARX in homage to the ancient avian dinosaur Archaeopteryx, the robot features cockpit monitors that receive camera images from external sources. This allows the pilot to control the arms and hands using joysticks from within the robot's torso. Yoshida intends to manufacture and market 5 of these machines as high-end toys for robot enthusiasts. However, he envisions their potential use in the future for disaster relief efforts and applications within the space industry.
災害復旧現場だったりとか、ゆくゆくは宇宙現場だったりというところに、要は一つの複数台のロボットを何台も持ち込めるような現場ではなくて、どっちかっていうと限られた台数しか、要は持ち込めない現場に対して1台で複数の作業ができるマルチパーパスな作業機っていうのを開発できればいいなと思ってます。
The 3.5-ton robot has 2 modes, the upright robot mode and a vehicle mode, in which it can travel up to 10 kilometers per hour.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. Just a click away by heading onto our website at www.tvstv.my or by following us on our social media platforms. And a quick announcement before we end the Nightline. TVS will also be available on Unified TVS starting October 2023. And that's all the updates for TVS Nightline tonight. I'm Yusuf Shukri. Thank you for watching and have a good night.